Okay. All right. What's going on, folks? We are live. We are live. Woo! Missed something right there. We missed the button. We missed the button, but we back here on time. All right. I actually just did this, but I'm gonna do it again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. If you're here for the first time, please go ahead and go to the comment section. If you're new and returning, go to the comment section. Let me know who you are, where you're representing. My name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and I'm the men's performance coach with African Fly. And this is what we do every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live so I can answer your questions. And what I do is I go over the video that we released earlier today, which is today, an important one, how to avoid the erection danger zone. If you're aware of my work, I come up with some concepts. Came up with the sexual performance scale, and now I use that to apply to some other things so we get some information. It's really important that, we all pay attention in terms of as we age. A lot of times, we think like back in the day, we think that's how that works. But, hey, what's going on, Wayman? What's going on? Moonshine, good to see you there. Good to see you. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm happy because did the Spartan race. Did the Spartan race up there in Palmerton, Pennsylvania. Lovely little town. Very interesting town at that. You got my hat, everything like that, It was a 4-mile race with 24 obstacles. The first obstacle is going up a hill, up the side of a mountain. We're going up the side of a mountain. What's going on with you, Antonio? Went up the side of a mountain, a double black diamond. So the skiers go down the most dangerous ski thing that you go down in the winter with the snow. We went up it. That was hard. It was very hard. Them some more things. But the thing that I learned from that that applies to today is there were guys there who were like 64, 65, who were running, who were doing this. It takes a lot of energy. This thing will wear you out. You're doing monkey bars. You're doing climbing up ropes. You're going through mud pits. You're running down rocky trails that are damn near dangerous. Somebody broke their ankle. Somebody broke their elbow. I mean, it's for real out there. So, okay. Oh, Wayman David, tell me the deal on the eggs. Yeah, I got it. New work in the house. What's going on, Fred? California in the house. Love it, love it, love it. But yeah, it's really important for guys to pay attention as we get older. Some people have in their mind, it's like, yo, I'm getting older, so I'm just going to relax. I'm not going to do as much exercising because I'm getting old and I'm not supposed to. That's the wrong attitude to have. I saw some guys out there were inspiring me to run up a hill, run up a side of a mountain. It was difficult, very difficult, but loved doing it. What's going on with you, Eddie? Love it. Benny B in the house. Glad you're here, sir. So let's go ahead and hop into it really quick. I'm going to go ahead and take my Spartan hat off. I love the hat, but, I don't want to mess my hairline. We trying to hold on things, man. Keeping it real. What's going on with your sir? Trinidad and Tobago in the house. All right. T. What's going on? Louisiana. All right. So basically when it comes down to it, if you're here, you're looking at this video, you saw the title, you're like, let me go ahead and hop in. Glad to have you here. But we're talking about how to avoid the erection danger zone. And that's because time is ticking. Time is not waiting for any man. It is doing what it needs to do. And if you don't take care of your body, your feelings, your beliefs, your ability to lie to yourself does not matter. Your body is going to do what it does with all the other billions of men before you're done. Your body's going to change. Father Time ain't no joke. He ain't no punk. He always wins. So it doesn't matter, you sitting there thinking like, I'm going to do in my 50s what I was doing when I was 25. If you don't take care of yourself, then no, that's not going to happen. So today I'm going to be talking about the erection danger zone. So there's a danger zone. This shout out to Kevin Samuels. He talked about the danger zone for women, basically between 27 and 35, when it becomes more dangerous to have children safely. And so the same thing applies to men, obviously slightly different. We're talking about a danger zone where you're losing your erections. And if you don't change your habits, you don't change what you're doing, you don't change your mindset, then you're going to start hitting that ED wall. And it's hard to come back. It's hard to come back from that because not only are you dealing with your your habits, but you're dealing with time. What time is done. Pittsburgh in the house. What's going on with you, Samuel? Love it, love it, love it. Uh-huh. Yes, this is being recorded. Somebody asked if it's being recorded. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Once again, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B. And this is what we do every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure if you have questions, go ahead and put it in the comment section. That's what we do. We take care of that over here. And once again, shout out to my staff for always being there for me, helping me out, making sure this stuff works. If you haven't checked out the other 200 videos, make sure you do. There's going to be some information in there for you. And my screen just I'm clear. Okay. I don't know. My screen just did something weird on me over here. Okay. There we go. Let me see, fellas. Give me 1 second here. In fact, let me just instead of playing around, I don't want to hold anything up. Okay. All right. Yeah. We had to switch things up. Okay. We're still here. Just boom. All right. I had to switch up cameras on you right quick, but it's still down to the information still the same. And if you could do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. You need this information in your life. If not for you, for somebody else, you may know already. What's going on with your Chris? Chicago in the house. Chi-town. Detroit. What's going on with you, John? Good to see you, sir. All right, let's keep it going. So yeah, when we're talking about all of this, we're talking about Mother Nature and Father Time. They got together and they just making a joke of all of this because we're thinking that we're going to stay young forever. I know I thought that it wasn't going to happen. Everybody thinks that, and then it smack you upside the head. Don't care about your feelings at all. So for men, we reach our sexual peak at roughly 25, depending on your lifestyle, things like that. For women, it's later. It's roughly 35 to 40. That's when the estrogen burns off and it reveals the testosterone. The testosterone level is higher. They're feeling that testosterone that we've been feeling when we were 25. Now they're feeling it. And so that's when the cougar comes out. Very much into this, the sexual appetite goes up. And so, in other words, in your 30s, your late 30s, you sitting there like, I'm done. I'm ready to go take a nap. She's ready to go. So that's where the big joke is with Mother Nature and Father Time. And for those guys who are younger saying, this is not going to happen to me. Yeah. Keep waiting. You waiting. As long as you do the right things, you may be good, but make sure you're doing the right things. So, and so now, I told you guys before about the sexual performance scale. That's a scale of 1 to 10. 10 means everything works. We're talking about spontaneous morning erections and on-demand erections. 1 means you need to go to a hospital. Most guys I'm dealing with are 5 to 7, that you're in that unreliable stage. Of course, we got some guys in others below a 5. That's when you're into ED land. And you'll see that with the scale. But basically, your danger zone time is that timeline is a part of the male timeline when erections become erratic. And that's right before the wall. It's like, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. A 7 is like, on this scale, a 7 is like, okay, I just need a little bit of work. Normally it should be just straight up, but it just takes a little bit more foreplay to get it up. A 6, it takes a serious amount of foreplay. A 5, it takes a whole lot of foreplay and it's still hit or miss. So you don't want to even get to a 5. And there's a normalcy to this timeline. Like I said, there's been billions of men before who've gone through this process. So yeah, there's a couple of guys who were like, yep, you know what? My man said he was 65 and he was an 8. Yeah, keep going. You need to, all right. Thanks for that. Testosterone kit got up there. All right. Time to re-up. Love it. But yeah, when it comes down to how all this works, we're looking at a sexual performance scale. The scale goes with your age. So basically, if you're in your 20s, 20 to 25, you're roughly a 10. Everything is good. 25 to 30, that's when you're a 9. And it's like, okay, there's a slight change. You may not even notice it. Between 30 and 35, you're roughly an 8. Of course, this is different for everybody, but between 35 and 40, that's where you start hitting that danger zone. That's when you're in that 6, 7 range. 40 to 45, that's where you can be 5 or a 6. And same thing for 45 to 50. So it it's just going down. That's the natural curve. And what you really need to understand is that over 50 is now choose your own adventure. It's really like your body would naturally be like, okay, your ability to reproduce is not going to be as strong. The issue that we have in this day and time right now is that our environment is battling against us. All the plastics, all the lights, all the chemicals in the foods, our lifestyle of sitting down all day, hunched over a computer, playing around with, the thumbs, having a porn store in your pocket. I mean, it's all working against us. And so, you really have to pay attention to the fact that, yes, you are going to lose roughly 1% of your testosterone per year. But if you have all of these bad habits, it exacerbates it. It makes the process go faster in terms of losing your testosterone, in terms of your blood flow not operating correctly. And that leads to a whole bunch of other issues. Because here's the thing to understand: your blood flow to your Johnson, is going to get lower because we're talking about blood flow. And you have an endothelia. I mentioned this before. Your endothelia is inside of the 60,000 miles of veins and arteries in your body. So that inner layer that's inside of there, that the inner layer that will basically, get worn down over time. When you're young, it's roughly 20 tennis courts wide. As you get older, you're eating the bad foods, things like that. You're basically narrowing it down. Can it be repaired? Yes. Does it take a lot? It doesn't take a long time, but it takes the right methodology. It takes eating the right foods. It takes being consistent all the time. So, I mean, you just think about it. When you turn, by the time you turn 35, your testosterone levels has gone down about roughly 15%. That's 1% per year from the age of 20. So, the way to deal with all of this is, first of all, know where you are on the sexual performance scales, and to start changing your habits. That's the real thing. You have to change your habits. And so here's some things that you can do to increase your testosterone. Pretty easy stuff. Get some sun. Yeah, get some sun. You want to lift heavy, and you're defying gravity. And then, in order for you to live, you need to be able to move. So you want to do high intensity interval training, and get good quality sleep. If you look at someone who's older, what do they look? Look like they're tired. How can you prevent looking like you're tired? Go to sleep. It's that simple. And you do want to, of course, keep your weight under control. And to help repair your endothelium, you want to, of course, stop eating animals. All animals, fish included. I know people are like, oh yeah, but Presbyterian could do all these different things. If you're trying to fix something, you have to go with the strongest cure. You want to increase your plant-based foods. Of course, you want to exercise, and you want to reduce stress. And reducing that stress is highly, highly important. This is as important as that sleep, because that stress is going to raise your cortisol. I did a video on stress. Make sure you check that out. Because if you don't deal with your stress, that's inside of your head. You could be doing all the other things correctly. You can be getting your sleep. You can do, blah, blah, blah. But, if you're skipping out on your meditation, if you have stress in your life, then it doesn't matter. Your brain is going to be constantly kicking out cortisol, and that cortisol is going to wear down your body. So, there we go. That is really what I have in terms of that piece of information. Of course, as always, if you're just joining us, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know, not sure what's going on in your life, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, let's go ahead and hop into some questions. I saw some questions come in a little bit earlier. I want to make sure I get to all of you guys. All right. So tell me the deal on eggs. What's going on, Wayman? Yes, and once again, this show is being recorded. You can pick it up on YouTube on the channel. Just go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification so you get the notifications when the video when we do come out. So the deal on eggs. So basically, it's an interesting thing that we consume so many eggs. You have to ask yourself why. It's not like nature was like, you know what? We're just going to create the perfect food for humans and have it come through a chicken. And then we're going to have chickens. I mean, the crazy thing about chickens is I never saw a chicken until I was roughly 40 something. And that's when I went with my nephew's Cub Scouts troop to the zoo. And they had, on the side they had chickens. It's because when I was growing up in the suburbs, what we want to see chicken for? It's not like, ooh, chickens. We already knew you could see them on TV, blah, 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 but see one in real life. And I had to think, I've never seen chicken, but I have been eating chicken my entire life. So many. I worked at McDonald's. I was cracking eggs on chickens. I was deep frying the chickens. It was chickens all around. I remember going to a Popeyes one time, and it was late in the evening. And I was like using my McDonald's experience. It was like, yeah, I'm looking at the bin. The bin was full of food. It's not supposed to be full of food right before you close because you have to throw that food out because you can't save it for the next day. And I'm sitting there like, oh, they messed up. Then I was like, hold up, where are these chickens coming from? Yeah, that's a good question. If you know the answer to that, go ahead and put that into the comment section. Let me know, where do you think the chickens come from? But yeah, it's an amazing thing that all over the United States, every supermarket, there are eggs. And it's like, okay, is it because it's the perfect food, or is it because somebody's trying to sell it to us? Is it because the animals are easy to control because they can, poop out, as it were, eggs constantly? It's like, that's the answer. It has less to do with whether or not this stuff is healthy for you and more to do with somebody else's profits. So whenever you're looking at, and I had to go back and do the research and everything like that about eggs, whenever you're looking at eggs, it's the literature is always confusing, and that's on purpose. If you do want to check out the movie What the Health, go to Netflix, check out the movie What the Health. They actually talk about this, about how they actually make the scientific literature confusing to people. Because if I confuse you by saying, oh, the egg whites are great, don't eat the yellow. Oh, the yellow is bad, eat the white. Hold up, eat the hold on, we're gonna eat, yeah, oh, it's high in cholesterol, but it's good cholesterol, then it's this, then it's that. It's like, no, they're just trying to, you know get you to buy, or confuse you enough to think that, oh, I guess it's because it's everywhere. If they confuse you, you will just go to like, well, I'll just eat it. So you want to be very careful with that. What's going on there, Mr. Jedi? You want to be very careful with the overconsumption of eggs. I did that before. I used to have a 3 egg omelet every morning. And why? Because they're so cheap. So we have a plentiful animal that you never see. And the answer is, I believe, North Carolina. That's where the vast majority of chickens are raised. It's either North Carolina or South Carolina. And pigs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a pretty horrific situation. There's a whole bunch of, when you're growing any animal in mass, animals have to poop, have to do all types of things. It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. Yep. Check out the link right there in the comment section for that information on the movie What the Health. Thank you there. But yeah, as far as what it is, basically the egg is designed for that chicken to stay in there and grow until it hatches. All of that quote unquote nutrition that's in there isn't designed for you. It's like cow's milk. It's not designed for you. It's designed for that animal. So the entire process of consuming it is just like consuming any other animal product. It gets into your body. It's going to cause plaque to form on your on the endothelia. So that little small ridge right there, it's going to break it down, and then you have less nitric oxide. The endothelia helps produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide moves blood. That's the reason why you see it moves blood, and it helps increase the size of the vein, the capillary, whatever, the artery. So you want to make sure you have that there. That actually ages you. If your endothelia is leaving faster, you have less blood flow, you move less. Yep. There we go. There we go, John. You raise pigs? Woo. Okay. All right there. Uh, mhm. All right. All right. So Let me see. Corey, will your testosterone tester show me the scale level I'm at? Yes. So it's a home testosterone kit. You get it, you'll just prick your finger, you pour it into this little vial that they have. It's not a whole bunch of blood. And then you send it off. They have you send it off like Monday through Thursday to make sure it gets into the mail and it gets to them as quickly as possible. And then from there, they do the testing. And what they'll do is they'll let you know. You actually get online, you get a actual dashboard. It'll remind you like the last time you took it, what your score was when you took it before, and also you're able to talk to a doctor and or nurse about that situation. So if you're coming back and let's say your free testosterone is at, let's say 400 nanograms per deciliter, that means that you're on the low side. Uh, Nowadays, we're saying that guys should be like at 800. That's a good level to be at. Actually, and here's the crazy thing: they actually lowered the standard. Before, the standard was 1200, and before that, it was even higher. The whole point is that over the years, the testosterone levels for men worldwide has been going down because of the things I mentioned earlier: lifestyle, habits, lights, staying up late, looking at Netflix and chill, not getting your good sleep in. All of those things add up to us now having very low testosterone. And it's to the point that, and this is just weird, I didn't even notice, but the younger generation of men, they're being born, the distance between their anus and the ball sack is shrinking. Their taint is shrinking. That's because of a testosterone thing. So it does affect your body if you don't have it there. hmm So great question. Great question. All right. Let's see. Reggie, trying to get more into juices and smoothies. Do you have a good smoothie? I guess that's, hold on one second. Okay. Any good smoothie recipes? Not necessarily a specific smoothie recipe. I will say this about smoothies: you want to be careful, especially if you're dealing with weight issues. You want to get fiber. Your body works optimally off of fiber. So if you're just drinking, especially if you're using a lot of the fruits and things like that in there, you want to optimally get green smoothie. A green smoothie has more vegetables in there. It takes a lot more to get it, but you're still getting you're getting less of the sweetness. You're getting less sugar. So if you're getting the sugar without the fiber, that's problematic. So make sure you're actually using a blender and not one of those juicers that you see the pulp come out the side. You're supposed to be getting that pulp inside of your body, not throwing it away. So because if you do it like that, you're actually just you're absorbing a whole bunch of sugar, and it's going to not only mess with you in terms of gaining weight, but in terms of your erections. When you're consuming high amounts of sugar, your testosterone lowers. So, and remember, you're only supposed to get, anywhere from, the numbers vary what they're saying, but anywhere from 6 to 22 grams of sugar per day. And you should be, if you're having issues, you should be aiming for that 6, not the 22. And to give you an idea, orange juice, that the little small orange juice that they have for breakfast and everything, that's 22 grams. So that's why you want to be careful with your juices. All right. Will What's going on, Max? Will drinking alcohol daily like a pint be a reason? Absolutely, absolutely. That's not a good, that's not a good look at all. If you're drinking, well, just drinking, period. Just what happens with alcohol is a poison that happens to make you feel woozy. That's really what it is. So it's a poison. So one of the first things that's happening is that it's taxing your liver. So your liver is cleansing your blood. When we say clean your blood, it's like, well, yeah, whatever you eat, whatever you drink, typically your body has to turn it into you. And some of that is not good for your body. That's the reason why you have waste. That's the reason why you do go to the bathroom to get rid of it. That's the reason why you breathe constantly. Your breath is the way you lose weight is through your breath. So if you're poisoning your liver on the daily, then yes, you're going to run into problems. Your liver it's there for a reason. And the more damage you do to it, the more damage you're doing to your entire body. When we talk about your endothelial, yeah, it's going to wear it out. So alcohol wears your body out. Mm-hmm. All right. Good question. Good questions. Oh, whoo. Chickens eat their own manure. I didn't know that. Ooh. Oh, oh Lord. All the chickens I done sent to hell in my life. They waiting for me. They gonna shit all over them. Stop. Stop. All right, Benny B. Can you still eat animal food moderately and still move up the sexual performance scale? Um, it depends on what you call moderately. What we do is so far out of bounds that what you would call moderate is actually overdoing it. You know, you could say moderate is like some people will say once a day. Some people will say like 2 times a week. You have to think about it because someone made a comment in the comment sections for one of the videos. It was saying like, you know, they were eating animals in the Bible days. They were also doing a whole bunch of other things too, such as going to sleep at night because there were no lights, such as walking everywhere, such as being out in the sun because you didn't have a choice, such as eating way more fruits and vegetables. Because if you think about it, a lot of times we're sitting there saying that, you know, we always say hunter gatherers when it comes to our ancestors. They were more gatherers than hunters. The only reason why you're going to hunt an animal is if everything else is exhausted, because it takes so much energy to go hunt. One, two, what type of tools are you using? It's not like everybody was running around with a knife. If you had a knife, that's for like war. They didn't have guns. They didn't. You had to like sticks and stones. Go try to kill your cat with a sticks and it is not an easy thing to do. And the whole process of killing an animal was one of the first things you have to do as soon as you kill an animal. You have to field dress it. In other words, you have to take the intestines out and the stomach out, because if the stomach erupts, it's going to poison the entire animal. You can't eat it. It's stomach acid. Just like us, they got stomach acid. So we have to field dress it. So can you imagine trying to field dress an animal with a stone, even a sharp stone? I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to, with a knife. It's easy, but with a stone, it's not. So you know, there was the way that we're conditioned to think about food in terms of eating meat is daily. That's the reason why in the Bible it was a big deal to sacrifice an animal. It was called a sacrifice to the Lord. We wouldn't sacrifice an animal to. We never even think about this. Hey, shouldn't we just sacrifice an animal to the Lord? Man, we can just go next door and I go to Safeway and, and just go to the grocery store and just, you know, have like a full sack. It'll be the whole place be filled up. We could sacrifice a whole bunch of chicken. And yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any. So you want to what I would say is you want to take it back as far as possible. It's just that simple. Especially if you're having issues. I mean, I understand why you're saying that. One of the things that happen is as you're reducing your intake of daggone near anything, your body is going to change. Your stomach is going to change. Every time you eat food, there's colonies and daggone near nations of bacteria and fungi that develop in your small intestines that break the food down and turn it into you. Now, if you stop eating a certain food, that particular colony is going to shrink because it doesn't have its food supply. So what it end up happening, like for me with chicken, I used to love chicken, eating chicken all the time. Just got to a point where it's like, okay, I got to change my diet up. And initially it was sort of difficult because that colony in my stomach was saying, hey, sending signals to my brain, like, hey, go get some more chicken. Hey, go get some more chicken. Well, as I got away from eating chicken and all types of other animals, it became less and less, to the point that as I ate, the last time I had some fried chicken or something like that, it didn't taste good. The flour on that chicken tasted good. The fried flour tasted good, but the chicken itself didn't taste good. So your body will change. It will adapt, and you know you'll get to the point where you won't want to eat it anyway. Right. So wonderful question, there, sir. Uh huh. Hmm. Wow, Corey, that's an interesting question. Let me get to that. All right. So TBGL, what if you smoke? Smoking is bad for your body. I mean, we already know this. Question is, what are you talking about smoking? But anyway, if you're talking about cigarette smoke or weed smoke, basically what is happening is your blood is going to get thicker. Now, in terms of what happens with your erections, the capillaries in your penis are some of the smallest veins in your body. So it's like a platelet of blood at a time is going through there. And so if your blood gets thicker, that means it can't go through, hence ED. So you want to not smoke. It's not healthy for you. Obviously, it's going to it causes inflammation to your lungs. I mean, the only time you should be breathing out smoke is if you're in a fire or something. You know, it's not good for you. It's not good for you. So Mike Davis in the house. Can exercise aid in blood flow to the penis? Absolutely. Absolutely, because it's blood flow to your entire body. So a lot of times we like to think of our penis as being separate from us. Sometimes we think our brain is separate from the rest of our body. It's like, no, it's all interconnected, it's all one unit. And so as you're exercising, you have blood. If you're running or something like that, you have blood that's moving throughout your entire body. And so even if you're doing, lifting weights and you're just moving your arms, it's not the same level of blood flow throughout your entire body, but your heart has to compensate by beating harder, and it's going to send blood throughout the rest of your body. So yeah, that's what exercise does. It's why when we talk about the ECS system, that's energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and your soul. That's the reason why exercise is right in there in the middle, because you can get good sleep, you can eat properly and everything like that, but the exercise is what's going to move the blood throughout your body, and that extra blood movement is going to repair things in your body, as long as you don't take it too far. But yes, definitely. So Corey asks, how does that taint being shortened negatively impact men, and is it a way to make a normal size again? As far as to make a normal size again, and is it a way to make a normal size again? No, that's how you're born. So it isn't, no surgery for that particular thing. It's like if you are 5'10", you're not going to be 6'4" once you hit a certain age. That's just the way your body's developed. So, and how does it negatively impact men? It's just a difference. This is something relatively new, so the research, so far as I've seen, doesn't show exactly what's going to happen in the long term. Is just something that was noticed. There are boys who have to go to the doctor now to make sure their balls drop. It's when you have so much estrogen in the environment, we're in an estrogen soaked environment. It's going to negatively impact men. I mean, you see the opposite side of this in girls who develop breast early, who develop body parts early. The issue with that is the earlier you're developing it, you're still dealing with nature and gravity. So you're going to end up with women can end up with issues earlier than they did before. So you have to be very careful. All right. Man, you got some great questions here. TBGL. No weird shit. Ain't no weird shit here, man. But what about masturbation? How does it affect testosterone levels in teens, young adults asking for a friend? Gotcha. All right. So how does that affect testosterone levels? Well, here's the thing about masturbation. Masturbation is something that is natural. So all throughout history, humans have masturbated. They've done surveys. It's like roughly 95% of all humans have masturbated at some time, and the other 5 to 6 people are lying. So yes, masturbation is natural. It's something that we're supposed to do. Because that's what we're here for. We're here to reproduce. We're not here to get jobs, blah, blah, blah. That's something that society tells us to do so that we can cooperate. And, that helps in the process of raising children. All good. Problem that we're having right now is that there's too much masturbation. Now, when you ejaculate, you don't lose testosterone. However, when you ejaculate, you don't lose testosterone. You do lose zinc. But when you don't masturbate, when you don't ejaculate for like a week or so, your testosterone goes up by a huge amount of percent, because your body's like, hey, you're supposed to be out there getting some. So let me go ahead and pump some out for you. So if you can avoid ejaculating, that's a good thing. And also in terms of masturbation, it does affect your mind. That's the part that's even scarier for right now, because when you talk about, before it was like, way back in the day, you had to go to a movie theater to see porn. Then it was like VHS. You can go to, you can get a tape, come home, watch it, things like that. And, fast forwarding and stuff would just, it was like irritating as hell. But now, you got your phone, you can pull this sucker out, pull it on up, and like, okay, you got selection. I don't like this. I like that position. We'll move over here, blah, 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 blah. It's like affecting your brain in terms of like your connection with another human being. Your connection with another human being is the reason for sex. And so if you're losing that sensitivity because you're popping from scene to scene to scene to scene to scene, and you're doing it constantly daily, by the time you get with a person, to your brain is damn near boring, because it's like, hey, she is the same feeling. I want to switch positions. I want to do this. I want to do that. Your brain is overstimulated. So you have to be very careful with that. So, I mean, it's not going to mess with your testosterone levels per se. It will mess with your zinc level, which is vitally important. You do want to have zinc in your life. But yeah, there you go. There you go. Hope I answered your question. Uh-huh. Gotti Richie. Uncle B, raw diet too is awesome too. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Eating raw, that's like the pinnacle. That's woo. I've done that once in my life. I really want to get back to that, because it was the thing that was very interesting to me. I've always had knee problems, and I could never sit down like cross-legged without it being an issue. Went raw for like a week or so, and it was like boom, I was sitting down Indian style. I was like, hold up, how did I get on the ground like this? It was like, it was so natural. So yes, raw diets are great. M Anderson, Mr. Anderson, what about edibles? uh yeah, you still got the cannabinoid going into your body, et cetera, et cetera. THC is not as bad as smoking. But typically edibles are very sweet. So if you got your brownies or your sugars or something like that, remember that sugar is going to lower your testosterone. If you're younger, it's going to lower it for like roughly a half an hour. As you get older and your testosterone level is already getting lower, you eat the sugar, is going to keep you down for a longer period of time. Sometimes I tell guys, if you're planning on having sex at some point during the day or that night or something like that, avoid sugar throughout the day. Yeah, want to be very careful. Uh-huh. What do you mean by balls having dropped? What cause, effect, and solution? Al, I'll have to do a video on that. We need to do a little bit more research. That's something that I just came across, and it was like shocking, because the only thing I remember in that vein was that thing where they cup you and you had to turn and cough. I don't even understand what that was about. But anyway, but yeah, but yeah, that excuse me. Yeah, I'll make sure to do a video about that, because it is, there are changes. I mean, it's like I forgot which movie it was, but there was a sci-fi movie, and they were showing like this little robot boy, and he got frozen, and he lived for like years and years and years. Well, he was frozen for years, and it was like the movie was into the future, and then they showed what happened when humans, quote unquote humanoids, found them years later. The humans look completely different. So if you think about how our ancestors look, you see those caveman pictures, and it was like they were stronger, they were bigger, they were taller, and then they got shorter and more human-like, et cetera, et cetera. Well, from where we are, there's going to be changes. So their testosterone levels were much higher, much higher. I mean, you think about just think about someone like the Roman army, how these guys had pieces of huge metal, not some level of lightweight metal that we're dealing with. They had it on the helmet, and they would like run for miles before getting into the war. And with less food, et cetera, the testosterone levels were off the chain compared to ours. So yeah, in the future things are going to get different too. All right. Uh-huh. Is calcium, magnesium, and zinc tablets from Trader Joe's. Good. Is it good? Yeah, you want to be careful. It's easier to get your all three of those from plant from different plants. So you can just go ahead and Google that, just see which plants are good for that. What plant based foods are good for that. Um, excuse me. Um, but and also you want to be careful, especially check out the video I did on zinc. I believe you want to make sure you're getting roughly, I think it's 13 to 15 milligrams per pill. So, and you also want to be very careful. You don't want to overdo it on those particular pills. It can cause some more problems. So, I don't have a necessarily a problem with it, but I prefer that you go plant based with those. Okay. Uh huh. Hmm. A good book for a raw diet is called Soak Your Nuts. Well, I do that often. By Karen Calabrese. Thanks, Chris. Chicago in the house. All right. Hold on a second. We got a good one over here. Hold on, folks. All right. What's going on, Don? We're going to tackle this one. We're going to tackle this one. All right, Don Coolio. Don Coolio. I recommend Penis Extender 3. It's a clinically proven penis extender. It sure helps with blood flow over time. I'm not a fan of those type of products. And the reason being is that you're very sensitive down there. If you're extending something, you do something wrong, and you rupture, like I said, those are very small veins down there, capillaries. If you do damage down there, there isn't like surgery for it. So I don't recommend it, sir. If it's working for you, just be careful. Just be careful. Uh-huh. Uh Samuel Simons Jr. There we go. That's an official name. That's an official name. Is black seed oil good? Okay. I have black seed oil in my cabinet over there. And yeah, yeah, I don't have a problem with black seed oil. But I would say this though. And I say this with all supplements, even with African fly. Oh, by the way, if you want to enjoy African fly, go to africanfly.com and order your bottle. Uh, but when it comes to black seed oil, yeah, I was taking it for a while. I didn't notice, um, necessary effects in myself. But that's in me. Everybody's body is different. It's going to react to things differently. There's a thing called biogenetics. It's like basically where do you come from? Ethnogenetics. Yeah. Is basically, it's taking into account your ethnicity, where your ancestors were from, things like that. That's how your body is going to react to certain foods. A doctor once told me that, for African Americans, we're more sensitive to salt because we're in our ancestors were from a salt depleted continent. And, when it comes to, certain areas of it, and for my Caucasian brothers and sisters, they were in the area just like, the ancestors had to, in order to store meat, you had to salt it. People were getting paid in salt. Your body actually needs salt, but we go overboard with the salts and everything. So you want to experiment. You want to find out what works for you. So take your time. Don't overdo it. Don't do like, I'm gonna take like 15 different pills or something like at the same time. Don't do that. But you do want to take your time to learn it. You have your entire life. I focus on just everything that I consume. I'm trying to consume with energy. So I have my tinctures, I have my powders, I have my my water, my teas. I'm constantly looking for things to help increase my body. So your body's an experiment for you. So go ahead and do your experimentations. All right. Uh, hold on. Okay. T. Swaby, how do you feel about Tattooed Chef plant-based foods? I'm not sure about Tattooed Chef, but I am down with plant-based products. Um, and let's be clear, whole plant. Because a lot of times, what ends up happening is, especially with vegan foods, they're taking plants, and they're doing a lot of processing and to turn them into something we're just used to eating. So, whether it's Impossible Burger or Beyond Beef, all of that was just an attempt to mimic something that we shouldn't have been eating to begin with, should not have been eating to begin with. But since it's there, people like to go for it. So there we go. Corey, what foods would you recommend for good fiber intake? Plants. Fruits and vegetables. That's where all your fiber is gonna come from. Meat has no fiber at all, so that's the reason why it's problematic for your body. What's the best beans and veggies to consume for protein? um I wouldn't say, what's the best, is whatever's available to you, because they're good. It's like, for example, for me, lentils lentils don't work for me for whatever reason. But beans carry a lot of protein. Most vegetables have a good amount of protein. I just can't think of the specific ones off the top of my head. However, fortunately, I have a video. So you want to check out the videos that I have for testosterone, foods for testosterone, and foods for blood flow. So that is all there. It is all good. Great question, Moonshine, Mr. Gunner. Could you do a plant-based meal plan video? Yeah, that's a good idea. Nikki, could you write that down for me, please? Plant-based meal plan video. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you. All right. Could you do a V? Oh, okay. I see what you did. There. All right. Great questions, fellas. You got some more questions? Go ahead and let me know. Please go ahead, and if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share this information. One of the things that we're working on right now is putting together a course. So all the information, just looking at the best information, sort of drilling it down so we can have a course so you guys can look at videos. You have resources that you can use. Is for the ECS 25 system. That's the energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and soul. And it's ECS 25. The 25 is a scoring system. So we're able to score what you do from a day-to-day basis. So if your goal in terms of eating was to, like, okay, I'm not eating any meat today, well, you get a 5. It's like, okay, I'm trying to, I normally sleep like 5 hours and trying to get 6 hours of sleep. Should be getting 8, but okay, we're going to go one step at a time. You get a 5 for getting your 6 hours of sleep. So it's a scoring system, turning it into a game. We're gamifying your health, and that way, yeah, and that way you're actually able to, take control of your health. Turn it into a game. I do that myself, because the reason for this is a way to look at your life. So when these 5 things that we talk about, that applies to any human at any point in human history, going forward, etc. At all times, you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to get your movement and your exercise, you have to give your body a break in terms of fasting, and you do have to take care of your stress, your soul. So everything falls into that. And so there's so many different things that you can start focusing in on, in terms of that energy. Not only is that food, but let's say you rarely get sunshine. And now you're like, okay, let me go outside and get out into the sun. That's a 5. So if you're looking at this score in total, if you're going across your score sheet, your calendar, you hit 25, 25, 25, that means that you're actually accelerating your healing process. If you're scoring a 10, that means you're decelerating. You're actually on the bad side. 0 to 10 just means that you had a rough day, and it's going to show up. So even if you're doing like a good 15 is just maintaining. You don't want to stay at 15. You want to be at a 20 or 25. So we're going to have that coming out for you guys soon, so you can actually take advantage of, getting this information and keeping track. I mean, that's the big thing. A lot of times people are like, I'm not sure if I'm doing better or not. Yeah, you need to keep track. Okay. All right. TBGL. Is it true if you get too buff or built that your penis doesn't get enough blood because your muscles are stealing most of the blood from your penis? I I don't believe so. I haven't heard of that actually, and I don't think that's a. I would almost say to a point the yeah. I would say to a point this what you have to be looking at is your what else is going on with that bodybuilding lifestyle, because sometimes people are taking these, a whole bunch of pills, obviously steroids, even if it's not steroids, a lot of guys are running around taking a lot of these protein shakes and protein bars, all of these different things that are not adding to your body. It's like protein shakes were developed in the 1970s for specifically for Arnold Schwarzenegger type of dudes, the dudes that did this 24/7. You saw the way that they ate back in the day. It was like incredible, incredibly bad, but it was incredible. But because they were working out 4 or 5 hours a day every day, it was a different amount of intake they needed to maintain their muscles. However, if you're taking all these different supplements and these sugar-based protein shakes and protein bars and everything like that, then yeah, you're going to affect your your nuts and your Johnson in ways that you weren't expecting. Yep. So great question, but it's not just the blood flow. I mean, if you have blood flow through your body, it's going to go to your penis. It's not like is going to get cut off. So the blood flow is not the issue. Is whatever everything else is going on. Yes. Guys, we're about to close out. Make sure you get your questions in, but I do want to tell you about something that we have coming out. That we have out already is an affiliate program for those guys who enjoy African Fly, who want to recommend it to your friends and wouldn't mind getting some extra change for doing so. We'd appreciate it. I'm sure the person that you recommended would appreciate it. In fact, we'd appreciate you doing that to it so much that we have the affiliate program. So let's go ahead and we want to put the affiliate program into the link in the comment section. And yeah, guys, go ahead and take advantage, please. We'd appreciate it. All right. Benny B asks, can you take African Fly every day or should you cycle it so the body doesn't get used to it? This isn't a cycling type of situation. It's sort of like saying, should you cycle eating fruits and vegetables? I mean, that's what we're designed to do. So this is a natural product. I mean, it's not a question of whether your body gets used to it. It's like saying your body gets used to breathing. It's just what it's supposed to do. So you can take African Fly every day. There isn't a need to cycle it. Typically, when you're cycling, it's because you're taking something that's very harsh to the body, and it's like you're giving a jolt to it, like a really strong product. This is designed so you can take it every day. Okay. Al, what's going on, Al? Can we gain length on our manhood or just focus on strong erections? Can we gain length? Okay. So most guys are roughly 20 to 30% smaller than they could be, typically because you're sitting down, you're not moving, you're not getting blood flow to your penis, you're not getting the testosterone levels. So, yeah, you can get smaller. And when I say smaller, just 20 to 30%. I mean, your penis is a use it or lose it system. So if you don't have blood flow going down there, you have 5 erections every night. And so your erections can happen. The issue in terms of, if you want to grow larger, or was penis enlargement. I did a video, the truth about penis enlargement. Go ahead and check out that. You can grow that 20 to 30%, but typically you have to be you have to be at 8, 9, or 10 on the sexual performance scale. So we're talking about you have blood flow already going on down there. Your body is healthy. And so that's when it's going to start growing. It's not like all of a sudden you're going to go, be a 5 and it's hard for you to get an erection period and then grow bigger. You understand that? So you want to get to preferably a 9 or a 10. That's when you're going to see levels of growth. You're going to get to your larger size. I mean, without even thinking about it, where you are right now. You ain't got to think about your Johnson. You just know, like, oh, okay. Hopefully you're not hard looking at me. That'd be weird. I'm just talking about, typically your you're just taking care of, you know what your size is. But if you're doing the right things, you can get larger. Typically, your woman will let you know if you're larger, because that fourth stage is the largest stage of your erection. That's right before ejaculation. That's the reason why a lot of women really like that part of of having sex, and it's called heat, because your body actually, your penis is actually radiating heat as it does that. So you keep doing that, and you will get stronger and longer. All right. So, yeah, we're coming up on the 10 o'clock hour. Please, guys, if you got any more questions, go ahead and put that into the comment section really quick. If you have not done so already, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate everybody being here. We had some great questions. Let me see. I just want to make sure we got everything in there. Yep. Oh, yeah. And of course, once again, please consider getting into our affiliate program. We would like to have that. We just now have the that link to the truth about penis enlargement. Go ahead and check that video out. You notice that I look slightly different from that video. It was like years ago. So yeah. So perfect, guys. Next week we got another great video, of course, coming out. That'll be coming out on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank everybody. Moonshine, good to see you there, brother. Benny B, all of you guys. The one thing I do appreciate and like is seeing guys come back and just joining in with us is really important. That we share this information with each other, and we're spreading the information so that other people get it. Somebody asked about how do we beat this diabolical plan. Michael Davis, how do we circumvent their diabolical plan? Well, by teaching each other, by sharing this information, and by for a lot of us, it's coming back and getting more and more, because we have to unlearn what we've learned. So there we go. Hey guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Until next week, please take care of yourself. It's Uncle B saying, get your game up and go hard. Peace out.